The barrier to living a meaningful life is the hard work of determining what is important to you. Or in short, what are your priorities? How can you set yourself up to have the best year, or at least a better year than in 2021? We're going to start out with talking about priorities, what's important. From there, we'll talk about goals. After goals, what is success going to look like? What are the systems? How do I think about systems to set those up? And then finally, what are more resources to continue thinking about this throughout the year? Before jumping into 2022 and how to make that a better year than 2021, it may be helpful to reflect on what was good about 2021, or what was poor, what worked, what didn't, what needs to change, or what did you learn? These can be good questions in thinking about next year and things that may need to be improved. So first, starting with priorities. What is important to you? I've been asking myself the same question in reference to what does it mean to live a meaningful life? And they come down to priorities, just like that quote mentions. The barrier to living a meaningful life is the hard work of determining what is important to you. It's a barrier, it's an obstacle. And the hard work is determining what's important. And as I've been doing exercises to ask myself, what is important to me? What do I really care about? What are things that continue to come up? A process of iteration has been a lot more helpful in determining what those things are. So that's priorities. And I've just been listing them out kind of every week. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the order of those priorities is really important too, and sticking to them. Next is goals. What are goals? And how many goals should I have for 2020? I'm not sure. But I think a goal per priority is important. Last year I had a financial goal. This year I have another financial goal. Also, relational goals. How do I want to pursue God this year? How do I want to work in my career, improve my skills, relate better to people? Maybe I need to be more patient, more kind. Things like this. And that goes into the next part of the goals, like what does success look like? At the end of 2022, in December, how am I going to be able to say, oh yeah, I did that, I succeeded, versus I didn't succeed? If you wrote down, I want to be able to do 100 push-ups, is someone able to watch you do that? Or are you not able to do that? That's a pretty concrete example. What does success look like at the end of the year? Then the next part, James Clear would write that we rise and fall to the level of our systems. So it's not about the outcome. We can't really affect that, but we can impact what we put in. We affect the inputs and hopefully the outputs come. If I want to be able to do 100 push-ups and I never work out, it's probably never going to happen. But if I start doing 10 and then 15 a day and 20, 25 and so on, eventually we'll make it there to be able to do 100. And the system, 2 things to think about. What is it going to take to do that? And then I think more powerfully is what are going to be the obstacles? Like what are things right now that you can think of that is going to prohibit you from achieving what you want to do? For me, a big factor is time. There's just not enough time to be able to do that thing that is important to you. But if it's important to you, are you going to make time? Another thing that I want to add is as you're building your system, think about what are the things that would help in the positive direction and what are things that you know not to do. And it's easier to improve by, and this idea comes from James Clear, that it's easier to improve by stopping doing the bad things. This idea comes from James Clear, that to improve, it's easier to stop doing bad things. For example, if the goal is health, or I want to do 100 push-ups by the end of the year, then eating 2 or 3 plates of dinner every night isn't going to do that. And that's an easy thing to stop doing, rather than, oh, how do I need to do this form or something like that? Instead of learning something new and adding something, you can subtract something and have the same result. Do the things that you know would help and stop doing the things that you know don't help. Stop doing the bad things. As far as the system goes, what will it take to get you there? And what obstacles? How can you break down those obstacles? If I don't have time, or I'm prone to getting distracted, then having a friend ask me, hey, how are you doing on that? That accountability, or what form of accountability works for you? Is it external with a spreadsheet? Is it just writing it down? Is it seeing the goal? Is it seeing the number? And figure out which one of those motivates you more. Which one inspires you to work towards that goal. The next part I want to talk about in setting up your 2022 to be better than your 2021 is thinking of a year theme. This is an idea I got from CGP Grey, and I'll link the video, hopefully. The idea is, instead of having a New Year's resolution, having a New Year theme. So maybe the theme is health. Maybe the theme is learning. Maybe the theme is patience. Maybe the theme is career. Maybe the theme is family. So as you're going through the year, let's say that the theme is family. Then as you're going through the year, as you're deciding things, like, oh, should I do this or should I do this? Then if it's in regards to family, then the year's theme is family, then family. And you make that choice. I'm not going to work extra on that project, or I'm going to say no to this thing. Versus if the theme is health, then hey, family, I may have to leave early because I need to go on this run. Or I'm going to have to miss that work thing because I'm working on my health. Or I can't eat as much at Thanksgiving dinner because I'm focusing on my health this year. Something like that. So having the theme helps to focus your activities based on what's important to you. A 6-part. If it wasn't important to you, then change. Maybe you start doing something and you make it halfway through and you're like, I'm only this happy, and it's not going to make me happier to achieve that. I didn't know that. Reserve the right to change your mind. That's okay. I think that's important. So don't feel beholden to the rule, and that's the theme. If the theme is family, but then you do something with your family every weekend and it's getting overwhelming, well, maybe you just focus on your family 2 weekends a month or something. So dial it. The point being, you don't have to be beholden to your past self. Retain the right to change your mind. Links in the descriptions to further resources, the Craig Rochelle Leadership Podcast, and James Clear's website and his articles have been really helpful to me in thinking about these things. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing. There's more stuff I have planned for this year, so stay tuned. If you're interested in being a better worker, being a better servant for Jesus, or being a better healthcare worker and thinking about those things, then because I'm here and want to help share the process I've gone through to do those things. And please leave a comment and give me some feedback. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I have a monitor over there that has a sheet where I typed out what I was going to talk about. And it turned off. The camera. Hold on a second. Oh, it came back. Wonderful.